Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, part number 36. Part number 36 of my NFL hybrid set build. Cards between 1970 and 73. Every player that had a card is going to have one card in the set, and this is going to be kind of a pretty interesting page, I do believe. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to fold this over, and we're going to zoom in and take a look at some players here. All right, we're going to start off with this 1973 Cornelius Johnson with the Colts. It's his rookie card, and it is his only card. Cornelius was drafted by the Colts with the 204th pick in the 1967 draft out of Virginia Union. He played with the Colts from 67 to 73. He played and he won Super Bowl V and was an NFL champion in 1968 as well. Cornelius suited up for 74 games. He started 11, but man, can't take away those NFL championships, can you? Cornelius Johnson, he died in July of 2017. Next, we've got Essex Johnson, his rookie card. He also had cards issued in 74 through 76. Essex was drafted out of Grambling in 1968 with the 156th pick by the Bengals. And he played for the Bengals from 68 to 75, and then Tampa Bay in their expansion year of 1976. At Grambling, Essex played defensive back and running back. He played on 3 SWAC championship teams, and Essex was drafted as a defensive back, but he got switched to a running back. And his breakout year was 1972 as he was the Bengals' featured back, and he followed it up in 1973, finishing just shy of 1,000 yards. And he had eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark, but due to penalties and a negative yard carry, he finished with 997 yards. And getting over 1,000 yards back then, that was a big thing. In 1974, Essex had knee surgery. He played in just 5 games. But he bounced back after two knee surgeries in 18 months to have a good 1975 season. After 8 seasons with the Bengals, he was released as the all-time Bengals leading rusher, and they let him go because of his knees. His concerns about his knees were just too much with those 2 knee surgeries. He then signed up with Tampa Bay, as I said, their expansion year. He played in all 14 games, but then he got waived in 1977, and he retired. Essex suited up for 112 games. He started 32. He had 4,978 all-purpose yards and 31 touchdowns in his career. Next, we've got Jimmy Johnson over here, this 1973 card. And Jimmy Johnson, he is a Football Hall of Famer in 1994. His rookie card is a 64 Philadelphia. He also had cards in between 65 and 66 and 68 through 75. Jimmy was drafted in 1961 with the 6th overall pick by the 49ers out of UCLA. He played 16 years, 15 with the 49ers and 1. He played 16 years with the 49ers, 15 as a defensive back and 1 as a wide receiver. So his whole career was spent with the 49ers. He was a 5-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time first-team All-Pro, and a 4-time All-Pro second team. And he was on the NFL All-1970s team. He was known as just a great man to defend the ball in his area. He was really probably one of the best defensive backs. He suited up in 213 games, starting 205. Wow. He had 47 career interceptions with 2 touchdowns, and he also had 7 fumble recoveries. That year that he did play as a wide receiver, he did pretty darn well. He had 40 receptions with 4 touchdowns. And as I said, he got inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1994. His number 37 is retired by the San Francisco 49ers, and Jimmy died in May of 2024. Randy Johnson, and again, good player, and he was a quarterback with the Falcons. His rookie card is a 1967 Philadelphia. He had cards issued in 68 through 70. and then 1972, and then 74 and 76. He was drafted by the Falcons with the 16th pick in the 1966 draft out of Texas A&I, which is now Texas A&M. He was the first quarterback for the Falcons. He started their franchise's first game. He threw their first touchdown pass, and he had their first rushing touchdown. He started 11 out of the 14 games that first season. He played in Atlanta until 1970 and was traded to the Giants, where he played from 71 to 73. He spent 1 year in the WFL and then came back to the NFL in 1975 with the Redskins and the Packers in 1976. I do not remember that with Green Bay. Randy suited up for a total of 75 games. He started 49. He threw for 51 touchdowns and had 10 rushing touchdowns. He threw for 8,300 yards and had 90 interceptions. Wow. 51 touchdowns, 90 interceptions. His best season was his rookie year. Randy died in September of 2009. Ron Johnson. I always remember that card as a kid with the bright blue jersey on the blue border, the red lettering for the Giants. Just a really cool card, I think. This is his rookie card. Ron had cards issued in 72 through 76. He was drafted out of Michigan with the 20th pick by the Browns in 1969. After a lengthy contract holdout, he signed a 2-year deal. It was a really disappointing season. He appeared in all 14 games. He started 13, and he gained 472 yards and had 7 touchdowns. He then got traded to the Giants in 1970, where he'd play halfback instead of fullback. In his first year, he gained 1,000 yards, the first Giant to ever do that. In 1971, he suffered a thigh injury in a pickup basketball game, and then he ended up missing the first 6 games. He played 2, and then he was injured and he missed the rest of the season. In 1972, he returned to form, gaining over 1,000 yards, but his numbers fell off in 74 and 75 due to just continuous injuries. He signed with the Cowboys in 76, but was cut before the season began. Ron was a 2-time Pro Bowler, a 1-time All-Pro selection. He suited up in 81 games, starting 68. He gained over 6,000 yards from scrimmage and caught 213 passes and scored 55 touchdowns. And again, I feel like if his injuries would have not been a problem, he probably would have had a much better career, because I remember him in the early 70s, and he just was a real good running back. Walter Johnson, this nice 1971 Topps card. Walter's rookie card is a 1969, and he had cards issued from 71 through 77. Walter was drafted in 1965 with the 27th pick out of Cal State. Walter played from the Browns from 65 through 76 and the Bengals in 77. Walter was a 3-time Pro Bowl selection, 67 through 69, with the Browns. He suited up in 182 games, starting 154. As a rookie, he only started 1 game, and his last season, he started 2 games. Walter ended up with 11 fumble recoveries, as well as 2 interceptions, with 2 touchdowns. He died in June of 1999. All right. Zoom in just a little bit here. There we go. A couple of big names here, Hall of Famers on this bottom rung here. Charlie Joyner, Pro Football Hall of Famer, 1996. This is his rookie card. And he also had cards issued in 73, then 76 through 86. Charlie was drafted out of Grambling by the Oilers in 1969 with the 93rd pick. He played with the Oilers from 69 through 72, the Bengals 72 through 75, and then the Chargers from 76 to 86. He was a defensive back and a wide receiver in college. He was a 3-time SWAC All-Conference selection. The Oilers tried to use Charlie as a defensive back, and they used him as a 4th wide receiver. He broke his arm in the 7th game, and that ended his rookie year. The next year, Charlie again broke his arm in the first preseason game, and he ended up missing the first 5 games of the season. In his 3rd season, Charlie was traded to the Bengals during the middle of the season, and in 73, he suffered a knee injury, and a broken collarbone. Charlie was traded to the Chargers in 76 and had a great season, but again was hindered by a knee injury in 1977. It's amazing how many injuries he had. Charlie had a great success, but was always thinking of retirement after every year. But he stayed on in pursuit of that elusive Super Bowl appearance, which never did come his way. He was a first-team All-Pro in 1980, a three-time Pro Bowl selection. He suited up in 239 games, starting 211. Charlie ended up with 750 receptions. Wow. Over 12,146 yards and 65 touchdowns. When he retired, he held the record for the most career receptions, the most receiving yards, as well as the most games played by any wide receiver. And then Charlie ended up becoming a wide receiver coach from 87 to 2012 with the Chargers, the Bills, and the Chiefs. And I just really remember him and Don Fouts, of course, with Air Coryell in San Diego, just lit it up. But quite a nice career for Charlie Joyner, overcoming all of those early injuries. Clint Jones, running back with the Vikings. His rookie card is a 1972 Topps. He had cards issued in 73 and 74. Clint was a two-time national champion at Michigan State in 65 and 66. He was a consensus All-American in 66 and a second-team All-American in 65. He was a second overall pick by the Vikings in 67. Wow, very high pick. And played for the Vikings from 67 to 72. And then he played for the Chargers in 73. He was a 1969 NFL champion with the Vikings. He suited up in 87 games, starting 37, and he finished with 2,609 all-purpose yards and 20 touchdowns. A great college career. Didn't quite live up to the number 2 overall draft pick, that's for sure. Deacon Jones, Hall of Famer, 1980. His rookie card is a 63 Topps. He had cards issued in 65 through 67 and then 69 through 74. Deacon was drafted in 1961 with the 186th pick by the Rams out of South Carolina State. Deacon was totally overlooked, but the Rams saw him while scouting a running back, and they figured, hey, we're going to draft him. He earned a starting role next to Merlin Olsen. They formed one of the greatest defensive lines ever. Deacon was a consensus All-Pro 5 straight years. He was voted Outstanding Rams defensive line in 62, 64, 65, and 66. He was traded to the Chargers in 72 and then concluded his career at 74 with the Redskins. In his last game, he kicked the final extra point of the game, ending his career. I didn't know that. That's pretty wild. Deacon revolutionized the defensive end position. The term sack originated with him. His speed, his side-to-side, and head slap made him one of the best, if not the best, defensive end of his era. He was elected to the NFL's Hall of Fame on his first year of eligibility in 1980. He was named to the all-time 75th NFL team, and he ranked number 13 as the list of the best 100 players. His number 75 was retired by the Rams. He suited up in 191 games, starting 168. He's credited with 173 and a half sacks, 2 interceptions, 10 fumble recoveries, and 2 safeties, plus that 1 extra point that he kicked at the end of his career. He died in 2013. The award for leading the NFL in sacks is called the Deacon Jones Award. And boy, was he ever a good player. And that head slap was just deadly. It's illegal now, of course, but you know, I've listened to many of the Packer Hall of Famers, especially Jerry Kramer, talk about going up against Deacon Jones and just the power of that head slap. But Hall of Famer here and a Hall of Famer there. And a Hall of Famer up here. So 3 Hall of Famers and 2 running backs that really, you know, should have had better careers, but injuries just took their toll on them, and that's just kind of the way that it goes. And I love these stories behind the cardboard. I knew this was going to be a little bit of a longer one because when you have 3 Hall of Famers on one page, you're going to end up talking about them. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you enjoy this 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 hybrid set build. I'm loving talking about these cards and looking at them again. So if you did, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and take care, everyone.